So I know a lot of you will just give up when there's something challenging, and you're just going to say, why the hell would I ever do that? That's the whole story with the whole reciprocity project is that when I started this, I told people, tried to build this platform and, I put out, I tried to get a team together and nobody believed in me. Um, then, I was like, to heck with this. Why would I wait for people when they're kind of not functioning? And so I did it myself. I got a contract manufacturer, built the damn thing, put in the internet. And then nothing happened, right? That was after months of work. Um, then nothing happened, right? And then people were like, oh, like, you're not gonna turn into anything. Like, this is just a big flop. Who cares? I'm like, all right, well, giddy up. Let's get out there. And then so I started putting out more and more and more content. Now I look at just on YouTube alone, I've got 5,000 videos and I continue to do this. And it's not until this is 8 years out now that people are starting to look, right? Like people are like, oh, how did that person do that? How, Uh, how they, and it is ignoring the outside world, realizing that, having this idea that, nobody's going to support me. All right, giddy up. Let's go. And I know that these tools are available. What are these tools that are at my fingertips? Well, I could do things like podcasting. I could do things like putting videos on YouTube. I can do all the sort of social media platforms out there that people are like, well, that's just social media. Like, what does that do? All right, okay. So when I started this, that's literally the attitude in academia. It still is today to a lot of people, and they're like, "Oh, you're just on social media." I'm like, aren't you looking around in culture today and realizing that social media is literally changing culture and winning, massive elections? That's the reason why it's actually working in the way that it's intending, right? And on top of it, the whole reciprocity project is growing because of it, right? So I can either sit there and, take these criticisms, which is just like people, ultimately what it comes down to is people are just like genuinely self-interested and lazy. I know that sounds really crude, but I'm not trying to be crude, right? Like I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to like put other people down. They look at it and they're just like, well, it's not worth my time and effort. I look at that and I say, giddy up. I say that that's actually where things grow. That's where you start, is doing the things, as they say in Silicon Valley, is doing non-scalable things, right? Like, I want you to look at how you actually build a business, right? Like, a lot of people are like, I'm going to be a CEO and I'm going to have, I'm going to have 100 employees as soon as they get out. You know what they never do? They never get started. They never do anything because that's not the reality. You know how you actually start a business? You start shoveling snow. You start getting out there and cutting grass. You start babysitting for people. You start doing all these little tiny things. Everybody's like, oh, it's below me. You know, you actually go and clean somebody's house and then you work at it repeatedly, right? So, you know, all right. So you go clean somebody's house. I know somebody near and dear to me, that's how they got by. Had kids, small kids, went through a divorce. That's how they got by, right? So you could stop there, right? And say, oh, well, that's not good enough, right? Like, I'm too good for this. You never amount to anything you go on, you don't do well in life. Let's just say that. Well, the other thing you could do is say, giddy up, let's go, let's do this, let's start making it. And then in your meantime, right? And I know like that is impossible to have a mean time when you've got small kids and you're working a job just to get by. I know, I realize that. I get it. But you go and you get some sort of certification one weekend, right? You take some time off, you go get a certification that says that, hey, you can handle toxic material, or you're only doing organic stuff or whatever. And then you put that certification and you say, I'm going to charge an extra $10 per person, right? And then you charge $10 per person. And then another weekend, this goes by after 6 months, you finally get some free time and you're like, okay, I'm going to go take another weekend course. This time it's for cleaning offices. So then you go and you get the certification. You're like, okay, I'm going to clean one or two offices. I'm going to try to find that. And so you go and clean one or two offices. And so you're 2 years in, you're cleaning a couple of offices and you're getting paid a little bit more. And you're doing a little bit better. And then 2 years in, you're like, okay, you know what? I can make a little bit of time, a little bit more money here. I'm going to go and I'm going to get another certification. This time I'm going to go and take a longer course. I'm going to spend every Monday, I'm going to take a longer course and I work at this thing and I learn how to manage, take a little small business course. And I learn how to do this. And then, I hire somebody after that. So I'm 5 years in at this moment. I'm still working my ass off. Still got small kids. They're a little bit older now. But I've got a business that's actually kind of steady. Then I go and somebody says, maybe you should do something on YouTube, or maybe you should start showing a show on YouTube. So then I go and I start doing that. And as part of this, I just start videotaping everything that I do and how to videotape, how to clean a bathroom appropriately, because I've got some experience, or how to do nice little bow ties with toilet paper. And I put those things because I got some nice experience with this. And I go and I do this and I put this on the internet and I do this and nothing happens. Nothing happens for 10 years, right? I'm 10 years in and all of a sudden people start paying attention to it. And then you become the most well-known person on the internet for cleaning houses. And people from all around the world want you to come and speak. They want you to talk about your experiences and how you did this. They want you to talk to young parents, single moms, single dads that are just trying to get by and they got kids. And you become this person. And then they start saying, you know what? I love for not only you to come here, but we're going to pay you $5,000 to do this. And you think that's the most amount of money I've ever seen in my life. And you freak out. You say $5,000 all at once. That's ridiculous for me just to go there and talk. And you go and do it. And people love your story. And then you go to do it again because somebody else at some corporate event, they say, I want to hear this person. And they pay you $10,000 this time. Now you're 15 years in and you built a career around this thing that everybody thought was below them. And everybody thought that it could never happen. And you did it. And that is the story of how you actually build businesses. That's how you get out there and you change the world. That's literally the step-by-step recipe that everybody goes through when they build something. Nobody gives a shit at the beginning. Nobody cares. And you go through that either a long time or a short time. Most people, it's a long time. Until one day, it changes. And you become that person that everybody wants to talk to and they say, how the hell did you do it? And I want you to listen to this. I'm over 5,000 videos in just on YouTube alone. I'm years into podcasting, nobody listening to me. Now you're actually starting to listen to me. I am doing these things and all these platforms, nobody listening. I'm okay with that because I know how the story plays out. I know how it's going to turn out. And you can go about thinking that things are below you, or you can say, giddy up. I'm going to do this. And everybody's going to make fun of me, but giddy up. Let's get going. I want you to think that. Good luck to you. I know you're not going to do it. I know you're not. I know how this story plays out. There's gonna be one person that listens to this. Maybe they do it and they change their life. Everybody else is gonna say, I can't do that. It's too hard. Take care and have a wonderful day.